Wake up before the week due, not because it sounds cool, not because it makes you feel superior, but because that's where the war begins, right there when the alarm goes off. That's the first battle of your day. And you either win it, or you surrender to weakness before the day even starts. When you get up early, before the sun, before the noise, before the world starts moving, you claim your space in the world with intention. It's not about the hour itself. It's about what that hour represents: discipline, control, ownership. You think getting up early is just a lifestyle choice. No, it's a declaration. It's a message to yourself that comfort doesn't control you. It's a message to the lazy part of your mind that says, I run this. Because that bed, that warm blanket, that snooze button, they are all weapons used by weakness to keep you average, and you are not average. You don't want to live a life of mediocrity. You don't want to die with regret, so you rise when it's hard, when it's cold, when your body says no, but your mission says yes. Most people won't understand this. They'll tell you to sleep in, to take it easy, to get your rest. And sure, sleep is important. Recovery matters, but don't confuse recovery with laziness. Don't confuse comfort with care. There's a line. And if you cross it, you become soft. That's why this habit matters so much. It's not just about time. It's about mindset. It's about building mental armor before the chaos of the day even begins. While others are reacting, you are preparing. While others are groggy, you are focused. You're already 10 steps ahead. Not just in time, but in clarity, in control, in momentum. Because when you get up early, you're not just winning the morning. You're winning the day. You're creating space to train, to plan, to think. You're putting your mind in a position of strength. The discipline you show at 4:30 a.m. is the same discipline you carry into meetings, workouts, relationships, and challenges. It sets the tone, and when you start strong, you carry that momentum like a weapon into everything else you do. And no, you're not always going to feel like it. That's the point. You don't rise early because it's easy. You do it because it's hard. Because you choose hard. That's what separates warriors from the weak. Warriors rise, warriors train, warriors get up before the world starts spinning, because they know the war isn't won by chance. It's won by routine. By reps, by habits. You either own the morning or the morning owns you. So wake up before the week due, and watch how everything in your life changes. Move, sweat, suffer. This is not about vanity. It's not about six-packs or aesthetics. This is about survival. This is about sharpening the blade. Every single day, your body is either getting stronger or weaker. There is no in-between. And if you choose not to move, if you choose comfort over challenge, you are choosing weakness. The body is a weapon, and weapons that are not used become dull. They rust, they break. So you move, you train, you sweat, you suffer, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. You don't need a perfect gym. You don't need supplements or excuses. What you need is resolve. You need pain, because in pain there is growth. In the fire of discomfort, the real version of you is forged. Every drop of sweat is proof that you showed up. That you didn't let the voice of laziness win. That you stared down the feeling of I don't want to, and moved anyway. Movement is a statement. It's a declaration that you are still in control. That you are not broken. That you are not done. When you train, you're not just building muscle. You're building resilience. You're building grit. Every rep is an act of rebellion against mediocrity. Every drop of sweat is a step away from weakness and a step closer to dominance. You are telling your body what to do, not the other way around. You're building discipline in the most physical, undeniable way. You're facing resistance and saying, good, bring it. There are going to be days you don't feel like it. Days where your mind tells you to skip, that you're too tired, too busy, too sore, but that's the test. That's where the transformation happens, not when it's easy, when it's brutal, when it hurts, when you want to quit and you don't. That's where the fire builds. That's where you learn who you really are. You suffer now so you don't suffer later. You sweat now so you don't bleed when it counts. Life is hard. The world is chaotic. And if you think you can navigate it with a weak body and a soft mind, you're wrong. You train for the battle that hasn't come yet. You move because motion is life, because action is power. You suffer because it builds something inside you that no comfort ever will. This is more than fitness. This is war. It's about preparing for the moments when everything falls apart. It's about becoming someone who doesn't fall with it. So move, push, strain, bleed, and when it gets hard, smile. Because that's the moment you're becoming someone who can't be broken. That's the moment weakness dies, and that's why you move, why you sweat, why you suffer, because that's how warriors are built. Read 10 pages a day. That's it, just 10. Doesn't sound like much, does it? But those 10 pages, done consistently, will separate you from the masses. While most are busy scrolling, tapping, watching mindless content, you're building your arsenal. One page at a time, one idea at a time, you're sharpening your mind, feeding it fuel, and preparing yourself for battles most people won't even see coming. This is not about entertainment. This is about expansion. Mental discipline, strategic growth, because knowledge is leverage, and leverage is power. Every time you read, you are reaching beyond your current limitations. You're gaining access to experiences, mindsets, strategies, and failures that others took decades to learn. And you're consuming it in minutes. That's not just learning, that's evolution. 10 pages a day might not feel like much, but stack that over a year, and you've consumed over 600 pages. That's 12-15 full books. That's 12 mentors, 12 new perspectives, 12 tools to destroy ignorance and step into strength. The mind is a battlefield too, and you don't bring a dull blade into war. You need to be sharp. You need words that cut through confusion, knowledge that destroys indecision, and insight that fuels action. Books provide that. Reading isn't a hobby, it's part of the discipline. Just like waking up early. Just like training your body, you train your mind, because if it's not strong, none of the rest matters. A weak mind crumbles under pressure. A strong mind leads, solves, adapts, endures, and you don't build that strength by chance. You build it by reading, by learning, by absorbing truth and rejecting noise, and it doesn't matter what you read at first. What matters is that you read philosophy, leadership, history, war, strategy, psychology. Pick something that challenges you, stretches your thinking, forces you to reflect. Don't just read what feels good. Read what builds. Read what's uncomfortable. The books that demand your attention, those are the ones that change you. It's not about speed, it's not a race, it's about depth. Read slowly, think deeply. One page that rewires your mindset is more powerful than 50 you forget tomorrow. And if you really want to grow, don't just read, apply. Take the lesson and use it, integrate it into your mission. That's when reading becomes a weapon. That's when pages become power. So while the average person scrolls for 2 hours a day, you read. While they watch drama, you study strategy. While they numb their mind, you sharpen yours. It's a small habit with massive return. 10 pages a day, every day, no excuses, no skipping, because the disciplined mind wins, and disciplined minds are built, 10 pages at a time. Sit in silence, fight the chaos, because the world won't give you peace. You have to take it. Every day noise attacks you, notifications, messages, deadlines, pressure. The world wants your attention, your energy, your thoughts. It doesn't want you to slow down, it doesn't want you to pause. It wants you distracted, exhausted, reactive. But a warrior doesn't just react, he prepares, and preparation begins in silence. This isn't about meditation for relaxation. This is wartime silence. This is the quiet before the battle. When you sit in silence, you face yourself. No distractions, no escapes. Just you and your thoughts. And that's uncomfortable. That's why most people never do it. They run from silence. They fear being alone with their own mind. But if you can't control your thoughts, they will control you. If you can't sit with yourself in silence, you'll be weak when the world gets loud. 5 minutes, that's all it takes. 5 minutes to reset your mind, to recenter, to get clear. No phone, no noise, no agenda, just stillness. Breathe, listen, pay attention to your heartbeat, your breathing, your thoughts. This is not inactivity, this is strategic clarity. You're scanning your mental battlefield. You're checking for weakness, for lies, for distractions. You're identifying what needs to be killed. Doubt, fear, excuses. Most people walk into their day already defeated. They never pause. They never get control. Their mind is cluttered. Their energy is scattered. But not you. You sit in silence because it makes you sharp. It makes you deliberate, it gives you the edge. When you own your mind, you own your actions, and when the chaos comes, and it will, you don't panic, you don't freeze, you execute because you've already done the work. In silence, this silence is your mental gym, where discipline is forged, where emotional strength is built, where clarity is born. You become aware of what really matters. You cut through the fog. You remind yourself of your mission, your values, your priorities. You don't need outside noise to validate you. You've already spoken to yourself. You've already aligned with your purpose. Silence isn't weakness. Silence is strength under control. The loudest person isn't the strongest. The most silent one is. The one who doesn't need to speak because their presence says enough. The one who can sit still, not out of fear, but out of power. You build that in silence. You build that when you face the internal storm and refuse to let it win. So while others are distracted, you pause. While others scream, you listen. While others run from themselves, you sit with yourself. 5 minutes, every day, sit, breathe, own your thoughts. Dominate your chaos. Because in that silence, you become the calm in the storm, the eye of the hurricane, and the world will never break a man who finds power in silence. Plan the day, then execute ruthlessly. Because if you don't control your day will control you. That's a fact. Most people drift. They move through life reacting, responding, waiting to see what happens, but not you. You're not here to drift. You're here to dominate, and domination starts with a plan. A clear, precise mission, driven plan that you create before the chaos begins. You write it down, you define your targets, you map the attack, you make the rules before the world has a chance to. This isn't about being busy. This is about being intentional. You don't just want to move, you want to move with purpose. You don't just want to check boxes, you want to win. So before the sun rises, before distractions show up, you look your day in the eye and say, this is how it's going to go. Not maybe. Not someday, but now. You don't let the day decide for you. You decide because that's what leaders do. That's what warriors do. And once that plan is set, once the blueprint is in front of you, you attack. You don't wait, you don't negotiate, you don't overthink. You execute with precision, with discipline, with relentless focus. You don't let mood interfere. You don't ask yourself if you feel like doing it. That's weakness, that's emotion. You follow the plan because the plan is the mission, and the mission is all that matters. Ruthless execution means no compromise, no shortcuts, no slacking. If the task is hard, you do it anyway. If it's uncomfortable, you welcome it. You don't cherry-pick the easy things. You go straight for the hard ones first, because that's where growth lives, that's where progress is made. You make decisions quickly, move with speed, and adjust only when necessary. You keep moving, always forward, always focused, and don't make the mistake of thinking this is just a productivity hack. No, this is mindset, this is discipline, this is about owning your time, your choices, your outcomes. You don't hand that power to anyone else. You don't let your schedule be dictated by other people's demands or distractions. Your time is your territory, and you defend it like a warrior defends a fortress. When you live like this, when you plan with clarity and execute with fire, you start stacking wins, you gain momentum, you create results, and most of all, you build trust with yourself. You start to believe in your ability to follow through. And that belief, that confidence, that's the real reward. Because once you prove to yourself that you can execute no matter what, the game changes, the world bends to the disciplined, so you plan, not just once in a while. Every day, you write it down, you commit to it, you prepare for war, then when the time comes, you execute with zero hesitation, no second guessing, no backing off, just pure action, unshakable, focused. Ruthless, that's how you take control of your life. One planned and executed day at a time. Eat like a warrior, fuel, not escape, because food isn't just calories, it's power, it's preparation, it's discipline in disguise. Every bite you take is a choice, a vote for strength or weakness, for clarity or fog, for control or chaos. A warrior doesn't eat to feel good. He eats to be ready to fight, to perform, to survive. And if you're stuffing your body with sugar, junk, fast comfort, you're not fueling for the mission, you're running from it. Too many people treat food like a drug. They eat when they're stressed. They eat when they're bored. They eat to avoid problems. That's not eating. That's escaping, but warriors don't escape. Warriors face what's in front of them and they eat to build. Every meal is a weapon, protein to rebuild, greens to repair, water to cleanse, nutrients to sharpen. There's no room for weakness at the table. There's no room for softness in the kitchen. It starts with a mindset. Food is fuel, nothing more, nothing less, not a reward. Not a celebration, not therapy. It's fuel for the machine, and the machine only runs as well as what you put in it. You wouldn't put garbage in a race car and expect it to win. So why would you do that to your body? Why would you feed your vessel like it's a trash bin, then wonder why you feel sluggish, slow, tired, unfocused? When you eat clean, you think clearer, you move faster, you feel stronger, you wake up lighter, you sleep better, you become harder to kill. You eat like a warrior so that when life hits, your body doesn't break. You eat like a warrior so that when the mission demands more, you don't run out of gas. Every ounce of junk food is a trade-off. You're trading your edge for a moment of comfort. You're trading power for pleasure. That's not worth it. Not now, not ever. Discipline at the table reflects discipline in life. Skip the sugar, kill the cravings, eat what fuels you: lean meats, vegetables, clean carbs, healthy fats, water, black coffee. It's not about taste. It's about readiness. It's not about what you want now. It's about who you want to become. Because every meal is a vote for the future version of yourself. The strong one, the focused one, the disciplined one. And yes, it's hard. It takes effort, preparation, planning, but so does everything that matters. You prep your meals like you prep for battle. You don't leave it to chance. You stay ready, because a warrior doesn't ask what's easy. He asks what's necessary. So eat like a warrior, every meal, every day. Not for comfort, not to numb yourself, but to fuel the fight, to stay sharp, to stay dangerous, because your body is your weapon. And how you fuel it determines how strong that weapon becomes. Repeat. Every damn day. That's the difference between people who wish and people who win. The world is full of people who start strong for a day, maybe a week. They get excited, motivated, inspired, but that flame burns out fast. Why? Because they thought one good day was enough. One rep, one meal, one early morning. But discipline doesn't care about one day. Discipline demands consistency. Results demand repetition. You don't get stronger by going to the gym once. You don't get smarter by reading one chapter. You don't build mental toughness by waking up early a few times. You build all of it by doing it over and over again, especially when you don't feel like it. Especially when you're tired, bored, unmotivated, sore. That's when it matters most. That's where the real growth lives. In the repetition, in the grind, in the silence when no one is watching. The mission is not about perfection. It's about persistence. You're going to have rough days. You're going to feel like skipping, but the warrior doesn't ask how he feels. The warrior follows the protocol every damn day. You rise, you train. You fuel, you read, you reflect, you execute, you do it again and again and again until it's part of your blood, until it's not a choice. It's just who you are. Habits don't stick because you hope they will. They stick because you hammer them in with repetition, with intention, with fire. You earn your discipline, you don't inherit it. You earn it by showing up when everyone else checks out, by doing the right thing not once, but always. That's what makes you different. That's what separates you from the masses. They live on motivation. You live on repetition. They wait for the mood. You live by the mission. Consistency is boring to most people. That's why they stay average, but you're not here to be average. You're here to become something greater, to build something real. And real progress doesn't come in bursts. It comes in layers, one day at a time. One action at a time, repeated, ruthlessly, relentlessly. You show up, you execute, you recover, you reload, and you go again. Because discipline is not about the result, it's about the rhythm. It's about the code you live by. And that code doesn't take days off. That code doesn't make excuses. It doesn't slow down when it's hard. It locks in and moves forward every damn day, so you don't count the days, you don't track the streak. You become the streak. You repeat the mission so many times that failure becomes unnatural, that quitting becomes impossible. You repeat until your mind is iron, your body is ready, and your soul is untouchable. That's the path, that's the way. Repeat every damn day, because discipline isn't what you do once. It's what you do always. Look in the mirror, that's your competition. The battle isn't out there, it's in here. The enemy isn't the world, the job, the boss, or the obstacles around you. The real fight is with yourself, with the version of you that makes excuses, the version that hits snooze, the version that doubts, the version that gives up. That reflection staring back is the only opponent worth fearing, and the only one worth conquering. Too many people blame others for their failures. They point fingers at circumstances. They say, if only this happened, or if only they did that. But none of that matters, because when it comes down to it, you're responsible. You are the commander of your life. The only person who can change the outcome is the person in that mirror. So stop looking outside for validation or blame. Look inside, face yourself, and know that your biggest challenge is becoming better than who you were yesterday. That mirror never lies. It doesn't care about excuses. It doesn't care about your story. It just shows you the truth. And sometimes that truth is hard. It's uncomfortable. But discomfort is growth. Pain is progress. The man in the mirror is the only one standing between you and greatness. And he can be your worst enemy or your greatest ally. Every day, you decide who he becomes. You decide if he wakes up early or stays in bed, if he pushes through the pain or gives in, if he trains his body and mind or lets them weaken. That mirror reflects the effort you put in, the habits you form, the mindset you choose. It reflects your discipline, or your lack of it. It reflects your ownership of your life. You want to beat your competition. Stop looking outward, start looking inward. Get ruthless with yourself. Identify the weaknesses, the lies you tell yourself, the habits that hold you back, then destroy them, build new ones, stronger ones. Discipline, focus, relentless drive, because the man you face every morning will either make you or break you. And here's the truth. Nobody else cares as much about your mission as you do. No one else is responsible for your success. No one else will fight for your goals. That's your job. So don't waste energy competing with others. They're fighting their own battles. Your war is internal. Win that, and everything else falls into place. So when you look in the mirror, don't look with fear. Look with purpose. Look with resolve. See the warrior you're becoming. See the strength you've earned. See the discipline you wield, because that man is your foundation, your battlefield, your legacy. And when you conquer him, nothing in this world can stand against you.